guys, what's up? Welcome back to another video. If you are new here, my name is Teal Garcia. On this channel we talk about everything related to photography. Everything. Like if it has anything to do with photography, we probably have talked about it or we will. Here you are. If that's something that you are interested in, please hit that subscribe button and join me for more videos. Somebody asked me a great question the other day, so I thought we would talk about it. Somebody asked me why I don't shoot weddings anymore. I stopped shooting weddings when we moved to Hawaii, and obviously Hawaii would have been a great place to continue to shoot weddings, but I just don't like them. I will give you some reasoning behind that, but obviously a lot of people will move here and they'll be like, that would be the perfect thing to do there, is to be a wedding photographer. People get married on the beach, people get married in big ceremonies, people get married here all the time. Am I crazy? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe I should have kept doing wedding photography, but there are a few reasons why I don't do wedding photography, not just here, but just like it was something I just kind of wanted to phase out. The first one, it is very time consuming. Shooting wedding is ridiculous. So you think about it and you're like, oh, it's an 8-hour wedding. You worked for 8 hours that day. No, not really the case. So you have to take into account the hours leading up to the wedding, making sure everything's set. Sometimes you have to drive to venues and see things. Sometimes you're just there to support the bride. Whatever reason, there's a lot of work that goes into it before the wedding even happens, like all of the before the wedding work, okay? And then there's the 8-hour day. And I just have to say, if you've ever shot a wedding, for some reason, shooting a wedding, especially like a 6 to 8 hour wedding, and then sometimes there's even more. I've never done one longer than 8 hours because that just seems crazy. But to me, an 8-hour wedding feels like you ran a marathon. Like the next day you are beat, you are sore. It takes a toll on you. It really does. Those 8 hours like feel like you just did like a 40-hour shift somewhere. Like it's tough. So I did not like that. I don't like feeling like that. Like if I want to be sore, I'll go to the gym or go on a hike or do something else. Like being sore after a wedding is just not fun. And then you have to think about the time that it takes after the wedding. So a couple hours before the wedding, probably total figuring things out, 8 to 10 hours at the wedding, and then the weeks that it takes you to edit. So for an 8-hour wedding, I would probably take about 4,000 photos. And then if I have a second shooter, even if they weren't there the whole time, I'm gonna get between 2,000 and 3,000 photos from them, and I have to go through all those. It takes probably a week just to cull those photos, just to pick out the ones I want to edit. That is so much work. I would say about average, it would probably take between 50, depending on the length of the wedding, and like if you had more than one shooter, I would think it would take between about 50 and 80 hours total of work from first inquiry to delivering your gallery. That's a lot of frickin' time. So some people are gonna pop in here and be like, it ain't that bad, but I thought about it and I did the math, and especially this is going off of, I wouldn't just shoot weddings. I wouldn't just shoot a wedding and then work on it. I would shoot a wedding and then have, you know, another family session that weekend and a few more that week. Like it was a wedding on top of a bunch of other stuff. So it was very time consuming. It was exhausting. It's not for me. So if that's what you like to do, I think most wedding photographers that I know that only shoot weddings like to do between 25 and 30 like max a year. And that's why, like if you think about it, that's a lot of weddings. Like it's a lot of weddings to shoot. So even a wedding photographer that's all they do, don't shoot weddings like every weekend. Like it's just exhausting. It's very, very time consuming. But so trying to do that on top of running a regular photography business, regular portrait sessions, those photos. So for a regular family session, I delivered my galleries in about 2 weeks, but for a wedding, I would give 6 to 8 weeks and still struggle to get it done in that amount of time. There's just so many photos. So very time consuming. Not a fan. The next one that is kind of a key thing and why I don't shoot weddings anymore is you have very little control about what's going on at the wedding. So you obviously don't get to pick your venue. You don't know if it's gonna have good lighting. Sure, you can like go in, you learn to kind of adapt and work with these scenarios, whatever anybody throws at you. I shot a wedding and all the portraits outside. It rained the whole time, so we had to work with that. But it's just it's not having a lot of control. So I love the artistic side of photography. I love the planning. I love kind of like knowing what's going on and choosing what's going on and what I'm gonna do, you know, helping people with outfits. For weddings, you don't get that. You show up and that's what you have to work with. I don't like the lack of creative control that you get when you shoot weddings. I'm just not a fan of it. I want to be able to, you know, decide with the couple on a location, or for a family shoot, you know, help them choose their colors. Like, I don't get to do any of that with the wedding. You show up and you just have to photograph all of the things that everybody chose. I feel like that kind of it maybe sounds a little selfish, but that's just why I don't shoot weddings anymore. So instead of having these selfish feelings of why did they pick that color, you know, or those bridesmaids dresses, the color of them bridesmaids dresses just really doesn't photograph well, or it's gonna be hard to edit. Like, I don't get a say in that. And again, it's a little selfish. I just won't shoot weddings. Instead of like feeling those selfish feelings, I just stop shooting weddings. Problem solved. Third and final reason that I don't shoot weddings anymore is because I really just didn't enjoy it. It's not something that, so a lot of people will enjoy being part of somebody's big day. And I wouldn't say I shot a lot of weddings, but the few weddings I did shoot, a lot of times they would have, like, I would kind of know them. I would know them through a friend, or like, it was very rare that I shot a wedding for a total stranger. Like, they just found me in my website and was like, I want you. So I only shot a couple like that, but so it is nice to be part of, especially if you know the person already. It's nice to be a part of their day, but that's it. I didn't enjoy it. Like I said, it's exhausting. It feels daunting. I'm not excited to get on the computer and edit for hours and hours and hours. I just, you know, and I think that photography, because again, I am the artistic side of it is what I enjoy. I don't have the want to do something that I don't want to do. I'm a big believer in that if you don't want to shoot that, I think a lot of photographers, when they're learning or they have these big aspirations to, like, oh, I want to do this and I want to do this and I want to do this, or they don't want to say no, or they think they have to do everything and that's the only way that they're going to make any money, or the only way that people are going to pay attention to them. I disagree with that. I think that if you are happier in what you're choosing to shoot, then you will be a better photographer. You'll be a better artist. So I was shooting weddings and I didn't really enjoy them. I didn't enjoy being there. It kind of like drags you down. So then when it's, you know, time to do something fun, you don't even want to do it. Like, you're unmotivated to do the rest of it because you're just kind of tired. And I mean, that's usually why people become photographers, is because they want to turn what they love into a job to get paid, right? Like, how great is that? Like, everybody wishes for that. They're like, I love this so much. It'd be great if I got paid for it. That's part of being a photographer. You usually fall in love with it first and then decide to be a photographer. So if anything you're doing is killing the sparkle, like dulling your sparkle at all, and it's making you not enjoy what you're doing, then stop doing it. And that's kind of what weddings were doing for me. So yeah, if you're thinking about starting weddings, just make sure you're doing them for the right reason. Again, if somebody loves weddings, great. I like taking pictures of families. I know people that don't like taking pictures of families and they want to stick with couples or weddings or whatever. Great. That's the great thing about this business. You can pick and choose what you want to do. So if you are thinking about shooting weddings, maybe take into account the things that I've said. I feel like I was very honest just now about how I feel about weddings. And again, I think weddings are beautiful. Will I shoot a wedding in the future? Maybe, depending if it's the right person. I will absolutely shoot a wedding for a family member. Not for free. It's not for free. It's too much work for free. I don't recommend that. I don't recommend free for friends and family, but I recommend maybe doing it even if you don't want to for friends and family. Okay, that's all I have for today. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions about shooting weddings, like maybe you just have like a follow-up question to something I said, let me know in the comments. And I will see you next time. Bye!